eastern extremity of the state of Pennsylvania, a remarkable construction project is transforming the face of the countryside. The area below will, within the next 2 years, be the 10th largest city in the state of Pennsylvania. A busy community of 70,000 people living in a city which was completely planned before the first house was built. Today, almost 1/5 of Levittown, Pennsylvania is already completed and occupied. 3,600 families are now making their homes in the new city. Levittown is 65 miles from New York City. It lies just west of the Delaware River, 25 miles northeast of Philadelphia. The new city, which is today springing to life on the banks of the Delaware, was planned by the Levitt brothers, who also built Levittown, Long Island. The younger brother, Alfred Levitt, is the architect, responsible for the overall planning of the new community.
When my family began to conceive the city of Levittown in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, we made up our minds not to duplicate one basic error that we find in all the other cities, namely that the individual occupant is lost in its bigness. How we went about it was to plan small sections of the land, put a circumferential drive around it, give it a name that followed some plant like Magnolia Hill, where mass plantings of magnolias would positively identify a pride in the occupants in Magnolia Hill. The people who will move to Magnolia Hill will co-share a school and a swimming pool and a ballpark. They'll be encouraged to have a ball club that will compete for medals and other honors, many other clubs. In this way, we hope that the individual will not be the occupant of a big city, Levittown, but rather an individual well known to his neighbors in Magnolia Hill.
The building of a house in 1 day is shown during the next 45 seconds by stop-motion photography. These are the 36 men who built this house. Another day, another 40 houses. This is one of 4 models which are now being built throughout Levittown. The complete price is $10,500. The 4 models vary slightly in overall design, but each has the same number of rooms. 2 bedrooms, a large living room, part of which can be converted to a 3rd bedroom, kitchen, bath, and dining space, and 5 closets. Each house has a fireplace, centrally located. Every few weeks, on allocation day, prospective homeowners pick the site for their house, as well as the model. Each house is definitely contracted for by a customer before construction begins. Each buyer has his or her own reasons for selecting a certain location rather than another. This woman is intent on having a house on a street named Butterfly Lane. Her husband, who prefers a different site, finally gives in.
I give her what she wants, that's all I can say. She wants this one right here? That's right. Betty 92. I never knew you saw houses by the name of the street before. That's the way you do it. Oh, I left mine here with this fool. Yeah.
Even at this stage of its growth, Levittown is beginning to look lived in. A strong community spirit is developing.
I represent the Welcome Committee of the Levittown Civic Association. I know you're just getting settled, but I'd like to welcome you here on behalf of the community. Have you any problems that you've run into that I might be able to help you? Just something that
The newcomer quickly becomes accustomed to the quick pace in Levittown.
I'll have her stop off for you if you like. Oh, they're always doing things like that around here. It goes on all the time. Did you get all your trees yet? Or is this the first one? Oh, look at all that. Thank goodness that's all over with.
The great increase of the number of students has prompted a two-shift day at schools throughout the county. All the schools in this corner of eastern Pennsylvania are overcrowded, and new students are arriving each day. Here, Mrs. Theodore Jack brings her daughter Susan to Worcester School for her first day of class since the family moved to Levittown from Philadelphia. Levittown already has its own police force. Here, the patrolman is much more concerned with problems which relate to the rapid growth of the community. Patrolman Templeton finds that lost dogs and children take up a fair amount of his time.
His name is either Levitt or Levitt. You look it up, please. What's your name?
Marjorie.
We have a Levine, 1178 Shepherd Lane.
I'll try it.
Okay. That's the way it goes here in Levittown. Lost kids, lost dogs, a few motor violations, but no crime.
No child ever remains lost in Levittown for very long.
Come on in, Bill. There are going to be a lot of things you're going to have to explain to me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is William Levitt, who heads the largest home building firm in the world. Bill, all this must have taken an awful lot of doing.
Well, Van, creating this city presented a challenge unlike anything we ever encountered before. Wherever we built in the past, we found local government experienced meeting the problem of the modern community. But here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, we found local services on the level of 1900. It was just like Long Island 50 years ago. There was no water, no sewers, no highway department, no adequate police department, same for the fire department, right down the line. We had to start from scratch with absolutely nothing. Everything had to be done at once. We had to build houses for people to live in. We had to build a water system, a sewer system. We had to set up a police department, put in roads, erect streetlights so that people could feel secure. What we've come out with is something new in city planning. When we finish here, which should be in another 2 years, we'll have a city about the size, let us say, of Atlantic City or Galveston.
The generation which is being raised in this scientifically planned community is taking this new way of life in its stride. For Levittown, Pennsylvania is a prototype of a new kind of 20th century American living. The fastest growing city in the country, Levittown already has a population of 12,600, or rather 12,601. Time marches on.